And what we learned at Amazon is when you give everybody the expectation and empower them to do innovation, it creates significant advantage. So there were many lessons that I learned at Amazon about how to use AI for its business success because I think that Amazon really used AI as its competitive differentiator, its entire business length. It was one of the first companies to use artificial intelligence in the old style machine learning back when it created Amazon's recommendations. And now that's still what powers everything. Of course, there's Amazon Alexa, but how you get your deliveries on time, it gets lower prices. It's used AI for all of those. One of the projects that I had was actually making Amazon Fresh profitable for the first time. And we did it through using AI. It was able to figure out the deliveries and best route drivers around. And again, that's what made it successful. And then we took that when we got to that point and extended Amazon Fresh through the world, again, using those capabilities. I think that the other thing I think about here is that every company now has the ability to use AI in their organizations because the costs have come down. Amazon's invested just billions and billions of dollars in it. Now it's more within reach because of generative AI. So any organization is now able to learn or take some of Amazon's lessons and apply them. There are so many. I think of maybe two of them. The first one is make an innovative company where anybody can innovate. So when you think about most organizations, oftentimes they've got like a technology team or an innovation team or a technology guy who's responsible for figuring out new technology and applying it in the company. And frankly, that's just going to be too slow now. With artificial intelligence, everybody has these AI agents available to them. And what we learned at Amazon is when you give everybody the expectation and empower them to do innovation, it creates significant advantage. I mean, even in today's organization, if you can empower your employees to save 5 minutes per day in their tasks over an entire year, that adds up to your organization being 26% more efficient. And so take that lesson from Amazon, empower everybody to use AI and be innovative, and you're going to leapfrog the competition. And then there's another point that I think is really important to businesses to consider from how Amazon has been, and that is to build for your future customer. And so Amazon would always think about what customers are going to want in about 5 to 7 years. And so they would manage their current business to be good, but they would also invest significantly today to build for what their future customers would want. And I think that's a really great lesson for most businesses because you can do the same thing today. In your industry, start thinking about that future. What are you going to want? What will your customers want in the future? And then start building it. And you will beat your competition and create a bunch of amazing products. There's a lot of misconceptions out there around AI right now, and maybe not even misconceptions as much as people just not knowing what to do because it's brand new. We're all trying to figure it out together. I don't think there's even a person on the planet that knows exactly the right thing to do. So it's totally okay if you're not clear. I think that the top one that comes up in my talks almost every single time is it secure and is it private? Now, I think of it just like any other business level system that you're using in your organization today. If you bought the business version of it from a reputable company, it's going to be private and secure. Just like your Gmail or your Microsoft Outlook, it's going to be secure to the same level of those types of tools. But make sure that your employees are using it under the business account. Because what I find in working with companies every single day is most companies right now, they haven't given all of their employees access to these tools. I just did a survey for an organization to figure out what their attitudes and impressions were of using AI before we rolled it out. And about 40% of their employees were already using AI before the company said it was okay. That's a huge deal, opening up your organization to some risk. And so make sure if you're worried about privacy and you want to get the benefit of these AI tools, to get your employees to use the proper version that is secure and private and under your business. And that is also the second misconception, is that you think you might get a lot of value out of AI immediately. You will only do that if your business is supporting it and training employees. Because a lot of employees, they're going to dabble with it. You'll get maybe 10, 20% of them that are just going to love it and do really well. The other 80%, they really need a lot of support to get there. That's training, that's knowledge sharing. Of course, that's empowering them to be safe doing it. And so I think that if you just address those two things when you start on your AI journey, you're going to be tremendously more effective. So the compelling reason is that your employees are already using it. I find that about 40% of employees in a company today, knowledge worker employees, are already using it to support their work, even if the leaders haven't told them it's okay to do it or given them any support. And that leaves your organization not only a little bit at risk because they might not be doing the right stuff with your data, you're missing out on the opportunity of it. Your employees are finding it useful because they're using it and they see the value it's giving. So ideally, the leaders need to get out of the way and, instead of stopping adoption, empower them and train them and give them the support to use it in a really great way.